Hello and welcome to Axis and Allies 1939 League of Nations. Phil and I are going to be playing this game for, until the early summer. So tonight we're going to do turn one. So without further ado, Phil, you are playing Axis.
I am playing Axis, yes.
And I shall be playing Allies. And the first thing we need to do is select our leaders, and it's Axis first. So you need to choose between Mussolini and Hitler. Who's going to be
Oh,
your
I've got to be
commander in
going
chief?
back and forth for the whole week on this. It's a tricky one. I've never thought I'd be asked to select my favourite fascist leader. I'm going to go Hitler.
You're going Hitler?
All my sins.
Okay, I'm going to delete the Mussolini card. Are you definitely sure?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want the armour.
Okay, Hitler it is. And if
Dear
you're
me.
doing this is the one I'm most unsure about, because Churchill, I think he really needs a boost.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not
Churchill,
big enough.
I understand where you're coming from. To me, screwing the Raj over is you just open it up to Japan. You really do.
Yes, but I think the card actually is a bit too weak at the minute, but the lend-lease into Russia is what you need to counter Hitler. But it's just not enough because you're losing that whole Pacific side of the board. Oh,
Yeah, it is tricky. I mean, I
think
I go Chamberlain.
I think I am going to fix the Churchill card. I think I'm going to make it a little bit stronger, but I'm not going to do that and then immediately play Churchill. I'll save it to our next game. So, or like it would be unfair of me to go. I'm playing Allies now. Let's boost one of the cards. Hello, Ronnie is in chat. So
Hello,
I think
Ronnie.
for that reason, I'm going to have to go Chamberlain, but that does mean no lend-lease. So what does that mean? For the rest of the game, I may not receive lend-lease from America or give it to Russia, but I may give lend-lease to Anzac or British Raj. Meanwhile, Adolf Hitler. You begin the game with an additional, you need to do this, 3 light tanks and 2 self-propelled artillery in Berlin. Then each turn, you'll gain 1 of each of these in the espionage phase.
So, okay. So I need to give myself 3 light tanks.
3 light tanks and 2 self-propelled artillery in Berlin. Meanwhile, Turkey begins the game as neutral, and Spain may not enter the war unless invaded, whilst Hitler is commander-in-chief. So usually Spain would enter the game when one of the victory cities in red is conquered, and they won't do that when you choose Hitler as commander-in-chief.
3 light tanks. They're stacking.
What on earth has happened there? Oh,
I don't know.
The board is in the locked state. You have to lock the board when you publish stuff to the workshop, otherwise it moves every time. So these should be in Berlin, not West Germany, by the way. So they go over here.
That's probably a better position anyway. So that is 3 light tanks and 2 artillery, you say?
2 self-propelled artillery.
2 self-propelled. Is the one on the board that I can copy?
They're underneath these light tanks.
Oh, okay. There you go. Oh, yeah, they are as well. There you go. Look. Copy. And 2 of those.
Yep. And then each turn in the espionage phase, you get 1 more whilst Hitler is the commander-in-chief.
There you go. That is wonderful.
Okay, so the next thing to happen is the espionage phase. Axis, again, like choosing commander-in-chief, it's always Axis first. You have 3 spies. 1 is in Germany, 1 is in Rome, and 1 is in Japan.
Yes. Now, this is not something I've considered greatly. The one in... So they can travel by plane, can't they? Or
they can travel by transport plane, but that needs to be done in the nation's turn of the transport plane.
So I've got I do have a transport plane, I believe.
Yeah. But if you were going to use it, if you're going to do this one in Rome, for example, you would move the agent during Italy's move on the transport plane.
Yeah, I think the Italy spy will move to Yugoslavia.
Okay.
Germany spy will move. I'm going to move her west.
Yeah. Get ready to deal with the French.
And Japan. Japan is a little bit more tricky. They have to move by ship, obviously.
Yeah, so that can't move until Japan's turn.
Okay, that's done then.
Right, so Britain's. I'm going to send this dude. Is going to walk to Scotland. Like I could have sent him up by train, but I'm going to make him walk. Should toughen him up a bit. My man from Cairo. I'm actually going to start embedding him in Cairo. Right, and the reason I'm doing that with Scotland is because he's on his way to deal with the IRA. Basically, I'm going straight into like the infamous SAS infiltration of the 80s. And where was my last one? That's Moscow, isn't it? Should I get him to go by train to Stalingrad? I think. There we go. Right now,
abandoning Moscow already. Excellent.
what use is a spy in Moscow? Okay, so we hit the next player, and that is going to take us to. Well, actually, it does the full game end, so it's doing all the production. But there we go. Now we're in the German Reich's turn. So this is. So the way this works, each turn here, if they're immediately above, that means they can move together. So Germany and Hungary can move together. It's just the purchasing that's separate. When one's raised like this, so Mongolia is raised, that does move with Russia, but it only once they're in the war. So at the moment, you've got no control over Mongolia, but they can come into the war. And it's exactly the same as standard A&A, where if you invade along the borders between Japan and Russia, or if Japan invades along these borders, then the Mongolia will come into it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so Germany's first move. Now, this is not a strategy game. This is a game of logistics.
Well, it most certainly is, especially this version. But I suppose I'll do my purchasing first.
Yeah.
I have 10. I have 3 oil there. I have no oil, and I have 5. Oh, dear me, dear me. There's never enough supplies in this game. Never. Okay, so I will move 1 from southern Germany to western. Give me 6 there. I have 3, 10.
Just to be clear for those watching, that it's able to move them because of the train connections.
Yes, the train connection connect that.
IPCs and oil can move along the train lines, and any unit which doesn't move completely within the train lines doesn't do any combat, just moves along train lines, gets +1 movement, as long as it's a ground unit, obviously. We're being asked, is it Tabletop Simulator? The answer is yes.
You can move any volume of IPC or oil as well, can you?
Yeah, as much as you like. Provided it's in your territory, of course, and isn't going through somebody else's...
of course, because you can't even move it through a neutral, so...
you can move it through a neutral.
Can you move through a neutral? I thought you could move it...
build the trains either side, yeah. Well, they're neutral countries. They're not going to get on the wrong side of a big alliance, are they?
Okay, learning all the time.
The odds of there being a neutral territory in the middle of your empire aren't great.
I'm going to move those 3 from southern. Okay, I'm going to move those up to Germany proper.
That's the oil. You don't get free oil.
I always do that.
God, I have to watch you like a hawk.
Well, oil is the biggest problem in this game for Germany. That's a little bit too much. Okay. Okay, so Germany, that is the actual movement of IPCs. Now we have purchasing. Okay, so you have to set factory when you want to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is
you
what you
move
can
down
build
to
in
your
turn
board.
1.
Move down to your board. And this is going to be a fairly simple purchase for Western Germany. Frozen. Come on, move. There you go.
You only got 6 IPC.
Oh, shit, yes. You're right. Totally true. That's all I put there. Okay, there we are. That's purchase done. Okay, Germany proper. Move down again.
13 IPC and 3 oil.
Okay.
You can see what's being spent up here on this on these counters when they move onto the buy board.
So as you can see, that's gone up to 3 and 1. And that goes 6 and 2. And that goes 9 and 3. Let me see.
So it's infantry or artillery or mechanized infantry.
It is, yes. I'm wondering what I do. Oh, do I have enough for? You can always pull out something to see if you want to actually purchase it, and you can always do like that to see. You can see it's got insufficient oil. You can always drop it back or delete it. There you go. This is very, very handy. You always need infantry there.
You do.
So I think that is a
also
purchase.
Got 80 guns and artillery you could have gone for.
Yeah. Okay. I just need people to fill in the gaps when everyone starts moving out of Germany.
Okay. Now the move that always gets forgotten. I'm going to mention it now. The German Navy.
Oh, damn it! You're right. The worst
Nearly
ones
happened again, didn't it?
The worst ones are the German and the Russian Navy.
Yeah, always forgetting them. Always.
The Russian Navy is awful, absolutely awful. Okay, so we're going to. That's a coastal patrol boat. We've got too much stuff here. Destroyers are bad.
They're not that bad. Only defend on a 2.
Yeah. Okay, so French cruiser. Ooh. Okay, so German patrol boats.
That defends on a 3.
We're gonna blitz into here like this. We're gonna move into there. These guys are gonna move up.
These are all unsupported attacks, so submarines are the only unit which can do an attack without supplies.
That's going to move down as well.
But they go depleted.
But they'll get depleted, yes, and need to be.
You've really got it in for the coastal patrol boat off of Canada, haven't you?
Yep.
Straight in with multiple submarines.
Okay, so that is the naval movement at the moment.
And you don't want to move the Wehrmacht, do you? Or the Luftwaffe. They're happy where they are, right? It's peaceful Europe. I've got a piece of paper. I've got it signed. I'm Chamberlain.
This is going to be, let me see. How many V1s do I have? 1, 2.
I should take them out. They didn't come out till 1944 in real life. But yeah, I started you with rocketry.
Okay, so I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we hate the British Navy. Who wouldn't? That is going to be quite a big blow, I would hope. What we want to do is we've got a couple of veteran bombers But we actually want to save them for France.
Oh,
So
you're
they've
going to attack bomb France. Okay.
We're going to tap on front, well, along with the rest of it. What we've got here, we've got.
Oh, you're going to
These
invade
are all tap
France.
bombers.
Or
We're
should
going
we
to
just
invade.
put
We're
the
going to
stuff
invade
you're putting
France.
into Paris in 104, just so
Okay. Yeah, there's going to be quite a lot going
we can
into.
pick up because I think there's going to be a lot, isn't there?
So that's going into 104. Let me just zoom out because I'm just spinning now. Let me drop this back. Okay, let's zoom out. Where's 104? 104. Okay. Fighters. That's a infantry. I need to zoom back in again. There's a problem. There's a lot of units and not a lot of space. What's that?
I know a lot of Axis and Allies players use those chips, don't they? But
these strat bombers can probably go into the fleet movement. Yeah, we really don't like the British Navy.
So these are being supported by the fact they're starting on an airfield, but they only get one round in the battle before they have to pull out without supplies.
This is going to France. We are determined to take France round 1.
Okay, so you're going over the Maginot Line.
We're going over the Maginot Line, which is not ideal, but because of the new rules with supply, we need to go in. So we'll deplete that one. That is, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. I didn't mean to do that. We'll deplete that supply there. There we go. Okay, so that goes in. That's going in as well. We're taking the second truck for round 2. Should we need it?
Not a bad idea, because you're one less place to attack. So each round of battle costs 1 logistics point. Aircraft can be given that point by starting at an airfield. Naval units can get it by starting at a naval base. There is no ground base. The barracks does something else entirely. So ground units have to be supplied with logistics. So at the start of the game, Germany has a choice with how they're going to spend the logistics that are already on the trucks, because you can't load a truck and attack in the same turn. You can pick up supplies, you can drop off supplies, but if you do either of those things, you cannot use that logistics truck in an attack.
Damn it, I wanted to do something with that transport plane, but it's too late now. Okay. I thought I had
how is it too late?
A paratrooper.
Did you say a paratrooper? No, you don't. No, Russia starts with a paratrooper.
Okay. So what I'm thinking about this mess in there will go into Yugoslavia.
Okay.
Because we don't like the beer. This unit in Germany, because these can move to Western Germany, France.
But they would need to take that logistics truck would have to go with them.
Okay, they can do that as well and spend that logistics.
Poland or anything.
They can do that because obviously, what have I got in France now? That is a mess going to France.
You've got a couple more tanks and SPGs that could come from Germany.
I do.
And some mechanized infantry, actually.
Don't want to deplete everything. Those mech infantries can go. There's a couple of artilleries they can't reach. They can't reach, can they?
No.
They can go in.
I got the achievement. It said easy mode, go back to hard mode.
Don't forget, Poland is neutral, so I don't get to counterattack into Germany or anything.
I'm sort of thinking that's enough for France, though.
How about Hungary?
Hungary's on my side. I'm not allowed to attack an ally, am I?
No, but you need to do production and move with them as well.
Production and move, yes, I do need to do that. Yeah. I thought you meant attack.
Well, you could attack Hungary. From Hungary. So Yugoslavia, there is a choice for the Yugoslavia. They begin neutral, so you can attack them, but you can also do a coup d'etat. So you spend up to 6 IPC, and then you roll a d6, and if the d6 is less than what you've spent, they will join your side. Thing is, both sides can do that, but Germany also, being right next to them with armies, can just march in straight away. But it is a territory with partisans. So I shall see if I can fund Tito's rebels later on.
Yeah, attack.
Yeah. Well, they can be useful as a garrison troop, but they're also 2 IPC, so it's kind of also useful to get them German.
I think you used them
Works
quite well in
either
the
way.
last game, to be honest.
Yeah.
As garrison troops, you did use them quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are useful for that. So last game I did the revolution, or the coup, got the Chetnik royalists take over.
The German fleet. What can I do with them? We've got 1, 2, 3. So they can go. Okay, I'm going to put German subs in 126.
Yeah.
Okay, now
we can move 3 because of the actual naval base.
Yeah. So they are supplied, so they won't deplete.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to play.
Any more?
Well, you've got to be careful when you're playing Becky because she does weird, dangerous, and random stuff that you would never believe would work, but they tend to. So I'm going to reinforce Western Germany.
Can't play defensively as the Germans. It's attack.
Yeah, but last time I didn't. You took Germany, Western Germany, away from me.
I did do that. Though I still think the best one was when I was playing as allies and marched on Berlin from Moscow.
Oh, you're just mad. That's the problem. Okay. I think that's probably it for Germany.
Okay. Right. Should we deal with these naval skirmishes first then?
Okay.
So let's start at the top. 126 against a Norwegian cargo transport. So now we have tactics cards, and none of mine are important. They're not relevant. Neither are yours. So may as well just roll your attack, I guess.
So what we've got nothing that looks relevant at the moment. We've got planes and battleships and or tanks. So we're going to go battle, and this is a pretty much foregone conclusion with a transport.
Yep. Okay, and you have got a real hero, so you can take an Axis real hero card.
Woohoo!
Okay,
so that depletes one of my submarines. I take it.
No, you started from a naval base.
True. Oh, I think the whole kit. How do
Just
there you go.
move like that.
Who have I got?
I don't know.
Oh,
You've got
Japanese guy.
Kunio Nakagawa. When battle is initiated and you are defending on an island territory, you may add a fortification to the battle.
Well, yeah, better keep that because Japan is.
Yeah, we got no other options
No.
for Japan yet.
Japan is desperate at the moment, I expect, because they always are. Japan is always desperate, by the way.
Yeah. So with the real hero cards, basically you can keep 1 card per nation, and you can keep all the commander-in-chiefs until the start of the next turn. Then you have to choose which card you're going to keep and make your commander-in-chief, and all the rest go back into the deck. Any card you don't want goes back into the deck. Once you've used a real hero, though, the card is just deleted from the game. So that was the first battle. And
So, do we do Canada first next?
yeah, let's do New Brunswick. So still no relevant tactics.
Naval battles a go-go. This should be fairly foregone.
Salient retreat.
There
But I'm
you
dead
go.
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And now we have the interesting situation that Germany is blockading New Brunswick.
And Quebec, because you've got 2 units there, you can blockade 2 ports. So that will reduce Canadian IPC income. Now we've got this thing going off the coast of Venezuela. So which of these civilian ships are you going to also target once you've got rid of my cruiser?
It's going to be the British.
You're going to take the French oil tanker?
No.
You're hoping to pick it up in the Vichy
I'm
split.
hoping to pick it up as Vichy. Yeah.
Yeah. If that then goes Vichy and you've sunk the cruiser, how disappointed will you be?
Very.
Good. All right, I hit the button for you. Sorry. You got an extra kill, so the cruiser is dead regardless, and you killed it anyway. Right. So these guys also die because they're non-combat. Oh wait. Large convoy. Only one of your naval non-combat units is lost if this tactic card is in play at the end of a battle in which you are defeated. Requires 2 naval. Yeah, so actually you only kill one of these, and I am going to keep the transport.
Oh, transport, very useful, very useful.
Cargo ship, actually, but yes. So yes, that was my large convoy. And then you got the salient retreat, so I'm forced to retreat, and I will go to 101.
Damn it!
Yeah, I got it out. I can't get the supplies out of West Indies, but I got my ship out.
If I get Vichy now, that cruiser is going to be big for me.
Yeah, I know. That would be hilarious. Let's save that till last. Let's do Yugoslavia. So that's pretty much a one-sided battle. Just make sure I picked up the right things there. Oh, it's got your spy. Hang on.
Yeah, you got my spy there. Yeah. Spy's busy. He's on the way. I'll just drop him in the box now. Okay, Axis battle. Should be foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Oh, and an extra hit.
It's not necessary. Yugoslavia is gone. I won't even add them to the war. They are just completely obliterated. They will never feature in this game. Now, when taking a territory, this is done incidentally. You can right-click this, go to state, and then hover over these, and this is in the player order. I tend to use the hotkeys. When it's a capital, you keep the IPC. If it is not the capital, so if now it's Yugoslavia, so taking Yugoslavia, that's the capital of Yugoslavia. So the IPC stays. If I was to take it back, because that's not the capital of Germany, the IPC would get reset. And
these initial moves might look like, oh yeah, you're storming it, but really I'm not.
Well, it all comes down to this battle here, although, to be honest, I don't have much. Now, you've sent in aircraft, and I have AA guns, so I'm just going to roll that on the nearest roller-matic.
Okie dokie.
That's not an improved AA. That's a regular AA, which is so... So I've been playing Axis for 2 games in a row, so I'm just used to hitting on a 2.
To do anything in this game with AA, you need to be British. I'll just let everybody know.
No, technically you need to be German, but yeah.
British AA is stunning, especially trying to invade Britain.
There is something of a history of British AA seemingly rolling really well. Okay, now let's check the tactics here because it might be relevant. So, first round of battle means tactical. Oh, turret fighters sounds like it might be good. In fact, it's the only card I've got. I'm going to play turret fighters.
What do I have? On the first round of battle, your force contains a fighter. You may negate 1 hit per requires 1 fighter. If you're victorious on the first round of battle, units which can blitz only move 1 may additional combat.
It's a blitz in reverse.
Yes,
I'm going to use
I'm going to use the 4-finger formation.
It's a finger 4 formation, not a 4-finger formation. It's
Hey,
the swarm. We often called it the swarm here, oddly enough, but it's
Swarm.
finger 4.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, you're
So
definitely
here-
getting the
here
tactics
we-
die in this battle. I'm
here we go with
utterly
another
up.
battle.
Oh, wait, I need to bring the AA up to use as a casualty. You never know, although actually
You
looking at those
never
numbers, I do
know.
know.
I
I
need
do.
to-
Look how much you've got.
Basically, I need to get into France before she can bring the British in and amalgamate all the forces into one area that I can't get through.
I do have all 4 infantry in fortresses, though, because you went over the Maginot Line.
But you do have the Maginot Line. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. The battle board doesn't know about the Maginot Line. So what that means is, because all 4 of my infantry in the Maginot Line, the first 4 hits actually miss. The infantry come back in. So we actually
And
have to
neither
count
do the
these.
Germans.
You did 8 hits to me after the Maginot Line. Ouch.
So neither do the
that's
Germans know
everything.
about the Maginot Line. It's just
apparently not.
irrelevant.
Okay, and then the other thing is logistics. Ground logistics are always captured, so you get a truck with 0 logistics on.
Must say, I'm extremely happy with that result.
You got veterans.
Woohoo!
Now this one's automatic, so you notice a number of these have now changed colour. They've gone to veteran. It's I think is it 1 in 3 chance per unit. I think
I've got a veteran tank and a veteran mechanised infantry, and a veteran supply truck.
Yes, randomly a supply truck went veteran. I realised that was accidentally the one I cloned, so I just had to take it for a non-veteran. Okay, what do veterans do? They increase your initiative score, which is what determines who gets the tactics die. Basically, you get 1 initiative per unit, but veterans count this much. This is the value of each nation's veterans, and it goes up with the more units you lose. So it's a very weak catch-up mechanically. Basically, you learn from your mistakes. You see Yugoslavia here, their ground forces are worth 2.3, except they're not because they're eliminated.
But also, we should say, as in normal A&A rules, the aircraft have to return to a safe territory.
Yes, that's standard A&A. So Ronnie has said, definitely more in-depth than regular A&A. I can see a lot of grand-scale gamers enjoying this version. This is ridiculously more complex than standard A&A.
Yeah, ridiculously is a good word for it, actually. Yeah,
we play a turn a week. Our last game was 20 turns.
Yeah, it does last that long. And mind you, it can get extremely interesting. It is a really interesting game, to be honest. It's worth the time. It is really worth the time.
We're in the First Nation of turn 1. It's a long way to go. I'm going to try and stream the whole thing, hopefully. It's typically Friday nights, just after 8. That'll be the thing, well, at or just after 8, there or thereabouts. Sometimes we're a little late starting. There we go. I'll just put them back in the ocean for you to...
No, we have France has fallen, which gives us an interesting situation.
Yes. Right, so Vichy. Whilst you sort that out, I'll explain the Vichy rules. So, if France falls and there are other mainland territories, you can get a situation where there's Vichy France. So, out of preference, southern France, if southern France is still French, that becomes Vichy. If southern France has fallen, it would have been Normandy. If Normandy had already fallen, then there's no Vichy France. Now what we do, every space on the board where the territory or the units, so every space on the board where the territory is French or it contains French units, we make a roll. And if the roll is 4 or more, that space goes Vichy. The single exception is the units of the French Foreign Legion. You get 1 in Algeria and you get 1 in French West Africa.
I see orange.
So this usually happens at some point in the first few turns. In this case, is gone for the Maginot strategy, so it's happened already. which is the worst case scenario for the French. But it's what happens when you throw everything into France and forfeit Poland, Denmark, and Holland, which is what he's chosen to do here. But it is the strategy I think works best. So, when he's gonna... No, disaster. We're supposed to show how slick this version is, not show us misusing the mouse.
Well, we do now is we usually finish all the combat before we resolve all the French things, don't we?
Well, that was the last of the combat. So,
oh, no, there's the English channel.
Oh yes, I forgot about that one.
I bet.
Right, I've got to decide whether I'm scrambling.
Did.
Let me just count this up. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 V1s, a modal of 4 hits just from the V1s, and then you've got 3 strat bombers. You know what? I'm going to let you take. There's too much there. There's no point scrambling fighters against that much rocketry.
That's what I hoped.
Yeah, because you'll just take the hits on the V1s, and sure, less damage coming in. But my convoy's not going to... I've only got 1 non-combat ship here, so I can't use my large convoys. You're going to use Finger 4, aren't you? No, you haven't got a fighter.
I haven't got a fighter. No, I don't. I just have
so no tactics.
No tactics and a battle. Oh, is this a battle or an air raid?
It's a battle. Air raid is strat bombing, basically.
There we go.
Facility bombing.
Come on, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
It's a salient retreat. Oh, did you just flip the deck over there? Yes, you did. Okay, V1s are disposable weapons. You can't take hits on V1s because they are all dead. So that is 2 strat bombers gone.
Damn it.
That was quite expensive.
It was.
Yes, I
What are you going to do?
No, I'm crashing to the sea.
The fleet's gone.
You still got 1 strat bomber. But yes, my fleet has gone.
The HMS Carrier.
So basically, the only thing to survive from that battle was 1 strategic bomber. Everything else got blown up. That was a massacre. Right, let's do the Vichy thing. So nothing in North America until we get to 89. We have an oil tanker. You want to roll a dice?
North Atlantic, and it's gone for a 1.
That is free French. So you were right to kill the cruiser. French Guinea.
French Guinea. And we have a 5.
That's gone Vichy. Okay, I need to neutralize that. Because otherwise you're going to walk into Venezuela. Like, it will take you, let me see, to build the barracks would take you 10 turns with the income from French Guiana. And then it would take you another 6 turns to build the barracks. So I have until turn 16 to neutralize it, but I do need to neutralize it. Okay, we have an oil tanker in 66.
66 is going to go...
Vichy.
4. It's a 4. Vichy.
Okay, that needs sinking.
Poor Vichy. They got nothing. Okay. Oh, the next one's Vichy as well.
But I haven't even worked out what that is.
I'm trying to say
I now feel like it would be my influence on it. I don't want to influence where it would have been.
It'd be there, wouldn't it?
I think it would be the Bay of Biscay, yes.
Bay of Biscay, go Vichy.
Right, so that is a destroyer, carrier, biplane, seaplane.
Oh.
We get the biplane from the special units board because it's the only time that can appear.
In the last game, this made a huge difference when the French fleet went Vichy. A massive difference.
Was it a cruiser?
Adjusted.
Yes. Saint Bartholomew.
Was it a cruiser? Or was it
a destroyer?
Destroyer. Oh, that's a blinking biplane dispenser, not pipeline. There we go. Right. Okay, next,
That's a
Normandy.
Normandy might go Vichy for a very, very short period.
It does have a load of troops on it. Okay, it
6
has gone
Vichy.
Vichy. Now, so here's where you get a strange situation where you've got enemy troops on the territory. Basically, nothing happens until the British go, and then the British must either attack or leave, or they have no logistics.
Which is the next go, actually.
Yeah. We have no logistics, and that's never come up before since we introduced the logistics rules. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
So are we? Was it next Southern France?
Well, that's automatic, so I'm just doing that.
Okay, look at that. Look, this is lovely.
93.
93.
Destroyer and a
93.
cruiser.
93. Vichy.
No, this is going really badly for me.
I believe I'm shouting for the fascists. I read. Oh, that's a cruiser and a destroyer. That's big. I just
Yeah.
need a battleship.
Right, and then we've got this whatever number this is, cargo destroyer oil tanker.
And it's gonna go Vichy.
Is anything going to be free French? This is supposed to be 50-50.
They don't deserve it.
Destroyer and a cargo ship. Oh, the destroyer can take from there. Cargo ship. All right, I think I've lost the med. Oh,
Well, it depends what you do
painful.
with British fleet. British fleet's a biggie.
Planning in my head right now.
This is better than I hoped. Better than I hoped.
It is. You've got a genuine chance of taking the med. Morocco.
Morocco is going to go Free French.
Algeria.
There's nothing in it, so excellent.
There's one IPC that I can't spend because I've got no
Free
capital.
French.
Tunisia. So when you've got no capital, you can't build units. That's the other thing.
Vichy.
Oh no, that's the one with the infantry. This is unreal.
You've got a unit of
I've got my
legions?
free French, yeah. At least actually the Foreign Legion will have
It's a Foreign
supplies.
Legion.
Yeah.
And a supply.
No
yeah.
artillery, but it's got
Have to take a
supplies.
supply, yeah.
Yeah. French West Africa.
French West Africa. Oh, we'll do this in Sahara then. Free French.
French Central Africa.
Free
French
French.
Equatorial Africa.
Vichy.
That one.
That's not going to stay Vichy for 5 seconds.
No. French Madagascar.
French Madagascar is going to go
Free
French and will never be collected from.
72? Yeah, 72.
72. I'm rolling in Saudi. Free French. I'm going to go back to rolling the Atlantic again.
You've got an oil tanker in 80. Yeah, you can have an oil tanker in Saudi. I don't need that.
No, it's Free French.
Okay. Right. French Indochina.
I'm rolling that in the Pacific.
You don't need to tell me where it comes up on screen.
Okay. Vichy.
Oh, no. No, don't you dare. That is really annoying.
And the next one is Free French.
Oh, yes, I got the battleship.
You've got the battleship.
All right.
Damn it. That's big for Japan. Big for Japan.
Right. There's two. We did actually miss one. That's really important. Syria. This is the really big one.
Okay, I'm gonna roll that. No, I'm gonna roll that in the Pacific, and it's gonna be Vichy.
No. Oh my god. I have all the things that are pointless. That were facing mine anyway. And then the last thing is, well, two things really: New Hebrides and then the ship. So let's roll for the territory first.
Vichy.
And the important one is the ship. Vichy.
Vichy.
French coastal patrol boat. Okay, Vichy coastal
Wow,
patrol
I didn't
boat.
do too badly out of that.
You got literally everything. The only things I got is stuff that I would have gotten anyway because I have troops there.
The battleship. The biggest thing I'm
And an
worried
oil
about is the
tanker.
battleship. That's the only thing
Yeah,
I'm worried
but
about
you
is that
know
battleship.
what? You've just taken the place it gets the supplies from. So
Yeah,
it's a
but
battleship that can't attack.
it's a battleship that can still defend, though. You can move it,
I'll have
and
to
you
get the
can.
supplies to French Madagascar or something to get the money out.
That is stunning. I'm not upset about that in any way, shape,
Oh,
or
that's even
form.
worse. Because in order to get supplies for that battleship, I have to get to French Madagascar, which means South Africa can't take French Madagascar until the battleship's got its supplies. No. Right. That's the end of the German. And you didn't move Hungary. So they're just staying there, are they?
Yeah, Hungary's staying put.
Okay, so now we've got to hit next player a couple of times. So you need to do that as though your nations.
Next player. Here we go.
Oh,
Next player.
and as you're doing that, in response to your senseless violence, the Allies, or those that can, are going to declare war. So Britain,
Senseless
France,
violence.
you attacked
Those
France.
Western provinces belong to Germany.
What, Paris?
Yeah, of course.
What's your plane?
Germany. Here we go. Hungary and Russia.
Okay. So that's doing the build action now for all the production queues. Things
Russia
don't
is
come out straight
always
away.
Russia's
Anzac is
always up
declaring
against
war.
Which category?
America, Mexico can't do that. China, Japan. No, I'll explain that later. France is apparently at war. The Dutch are able to declare war, so they will. And right, Peru is a weird kind of exception that can't actually. It's not actually an allied nation, but it's under allied control. They're limited to the exclusion zone. This was another conflict that went on during World War II. So Peru attacked Ecuador. They also had territorial complaints against Colombia as well. Basically, I think it was a lake or something in this region. I forget the exact details. So we've modelled it by putting Peru under allied control, and but they can't declare war until they do their first attack. So when you're at war, your income goes up. So there's huge advantages to being at war, which is why every ally that can immediately declares war. Russia, however, cannot do so until certain circumstances are met. They've got various edge cases for conditions where they can go into various territories, which are written on these note cards around the place. I could do Finland, can't I? Yeah. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to declare a regional conflict against war. If I do that, it brings them into the war, though.
Do it. You know you want to.
I'm not really ready for it. Not on turn one. What I am going to do, this really needs reorganizing. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You can get a 12 by a supply truck.
13.
No, go online.
So 13 IPC. I'm just going to chuck that in Moscow for the moment. Dum, dum, bum, bum, bum. And then supply trucks. So this one in Smolensk is going to drive up to the Baltic states, picking up from Smolensk and Belarus and dropping off right here. This one in Western Ukraine will go Bryansk and then down, Bink, and drop off in Ukraine. Turkmenistan will just wait there until next turn when it becomes relevant. and in the Soviet Far East, I'm literally going to move to Siberia and drop off. So Ronnie says he's heading off for now. Enjoy the rest of the turn. We'll catch up later on. It's a really intriguing game, though.
Bye, Ronnie.
So, yeah, we'll see you later. And then once I've dropped off at Siberia, I'll run it along the train line into Moscow. Now, I have a chronic need to get 9 IPC in Ukraine and Leningrad. So I need an additional 6 in Ukraine. And then I need an additional 8 up there. So, bink, bink. That gets me to 9 in Leningrad. Because right at the start, there's only one useful thing you can do in turn 1 with Russia, and that is begin the long and arduous process of building tons of infantry, later tanks. Yeah, anything. Well, actually, there's merit to building AT guns. I'm not going to do that just yet, though. First turn, I just need to I need to start recruiting. We've got to start getting ready because Europe seems to be going to war for some reason.
Yeah, AP infantry is cheaper.
Please tell me I did do infantry last time and didn't pick up naval mines by accident, because I did just then. Right. If I've just built 3 naval mines, I will cry. No, I haven't, because I've spent all the money. So, right. Now, before I do anything else, first thing I'm going to do, I am at peace. So I can move past the German Navy and get my boats out. Because this
more importantly, you can move past the coastal guns in Denmark with a submarine.
Yeah, well, that's a neutral pro-allied nation, so yes. I can also move this submarine that is at the naval base, so that can form a wolf pack there.
Put your pilots back on.
Right, now this, I'm not going to leave my infantry tank right at the front. I'm going to move an infantry down to Belarus. I think we need to deploy forward, so we're going to move. Just need to stop you blitzing in while we move men up. So that can come up the train line. I've got to move the oil around, actually, haven't I? These guys, they're going to go up to Archangel on the train. Paratroopers will go on the transport plane to Leningrad. I'm going to move the oil around. So 1, 2, 3 oil. Just going to move that to Moscow for now. Now over here, let me see. That's tricky. So he's going to move to the Far East. These 2 are going to move. Yeah, they're going to walk. They could have taken the train, but they're going to walk.
It's traditional in A&A to actually start moving your troops west, isn't it?
Well, not necessarily, because you shift the balance over to Japan. That's the problem. But I am at the moment moving some of it west. Just because at the start, you just need stuff. You start with so little in Russia. Okay.
You do.
Next player. So that's going to start dropping out the Russian production, or at least the things that are built in one turn. So I'll get my infantry out. And now we have a look at Britain. So I tend to deal with each region because Britain is just all over the map. If you try and do all the production, then all the moves, it's just a nightmare. So I tend to just deal with each region as a thing. So let's do production in Britain first. They've got 4 IPC and 2 oil, and that ain't changing. So I guess that's just going to be build infantry tanks while you can, or tankettes. So they 1 oil. We want infantry tanks more.
Infantry tanks, good.
Did I not hit set factory properly, or did I do it at the wrong time? 4 APC, 2 oil. That costs 5 IPC. I can't even do that on turn 1. Ouch. You know what? I'm not gonna spend that. I'm gonna do no production in London on turn 1. Ouch. Right. Now.
Wow.
Oh, what we didn't do is we didn't deplete your submarines.
Okay.
So Canada. So that's not blockaded because they're depleted.
Only one, surely.
No, they both
Only
attacked.
Ow.
Oh, they both attacked. Okay.
Yeah. If they take part in the attack and they're not supplied, then they are depleted. Right. Now I can't leave those troops there. So what I'm going to do, I've got landing ships. I could move them down. I need to deal with this aircraft carrier. You're not getting that out. Right. So I've got a naval base. I have 1 turn of attack.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how it's going to go. You are not in range with your air force. This is my 1 chance to sink this carrier. 1, 2, 3. They can do it. I'm going to move the combat ships to 105, the Bay of Biscay.
Wow.
I am basically doing a Churchill.
Wow.
Then this seaplane will move into the English Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last thing I want is you moving your navy into mine.
I'm sure
while
this
I'm
plane is
exposed.
fast.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna. This comes down 1, 2, 3. This also comes there and across. That's 2 units. I'm gonna pick up my light tank. I'm gonna abandon the French. Well, it's not that I'm abandoning them. It's
Early
like,
Dunkirk.
have you seen the army in Paris?
I'll put it there.
It's not really abandoning so much as turning tail and running. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move some infantry up there, and I can't move the light tank because that was in Normandy, but I can move my infantry tank to Scotland. So I have a tank in Scotland and a tank in Britain. I also, because I have radar, I have all of my air force in both countries at once. So,
do you want to talk about the IRA at this point?
No.
Okay.
We'll talk about partisans later. Much later. Now, what I can do, however, is I can strap bomb, and somebody has moved into Paris with no air cover and no AA guns. That has to be worth considering, but also the Italian fleet. This might be my only chance to swing the med in my favour. So I need to think about that.
Well, yeah, quite often it's useful to move your strap bombers to the med fleets, but
just for the raid against the Italian fleet.
to help with the Italian fleet. It's quite common in A&A to do that, but obviously
now we didn't talk about what depleted meant for the game. A depleted U-boat or submarine is not attackable. It takes no part in the game. All it can do is move back to a naval base and get resupplied. So basically, it's a submarine that is just avoiding all conflict, and you just move it back to a naval base and resupply it. It cannot be hunted, which is the only way for that mechanic to kind of work. Now, this cargo ship in Britain, I am not playing Churchill. That actually could have been useful. Oh well.
it would have been.
No, you still got a submarine in the middle of the Atlantic. I couldn't have done it. Nothing there. Right. I've got it right because I need to decide what these strap bombs are doing. Because this battle here, I have 2, 3 destroyers, 4 destroyers, a coastal patrol boat, cruiser, and a battleship. I'm going to massacre that.
Yeah, that's a foregone conclusion on.
I'm going to lose the patrol boat, and
It depends on what you do with the Italian
lose the destroyer. I will lose the destroyer. I think I genuinely think I have to attack your fleet with those extra Vichy ships. I don't want to do it though.
Are you attacking the Italians or the Vichy though? I think you have to attack the Italians if you do, because they've got the biggest ships in the smallest area.
Oh god, it's always going to be the Italians. The Vichy ships can be picked off.
If you go to 95, I can't scramble as well.
Well, you can. There are ships you can scramble. So planes you can scramble. You can scramble one biplane and one fighter and one attack bomber. What you can't scramble is all the additional biplanes that are kind of scattered around.
Shark bite.
I thought it had to be in the adjacent sea zone. That's not adjacent, is it? That's maybe that would only be 97.
That airfield is adjacent to 95 and 97. It's in southern Italy. It's not.
Okay, if you want, yeah.
Yeah.
I chose.
It's in the territory of southern Italy. It's just the airfield icon happens to be over on the side of 97. Italy's very small on this map. It's hard to fit things in. I think I don't want to lose my aircraft carrier.
You've not got a massive amount in the Med, to be honest. You've got what? Patrol boat, destroyer, cruiser. And
I have a cruiser and two
carrier.
destroyers.
You've got 2 biplanes you can send in.
2 biplanes, a fighter, and 2 strat bombers.
That would probably swing it. You wouldn't come out looking too pretty, but that would probably do it.
What are they going to kill in Paris? 2 mech infantry. It's not the end of the world.
Not for Germany under Hitler, no.
Yeah, the Navy's more important. Now, the other thing is, do I go into Greece with the dude in Cyprus? Or do I support the attack? Because, right, you've got the naval base, so I can move these guys in, supported by the naval base. I don't have to spend supplies on turn 1. Right, now I can use this cargo ship to go in and give me an extra round of battle, or I can go load onto Cyprus, activate Greece. Yes, I'll lose the cargo ship, but do I care? Because I've just got Greece into the game. And they've got biplanes.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
I think I'm going to do that.
You are? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's any chance of resupplying the fleet, obviously.
I mean, for now. So that fighter from Cairo will come in. The biplane on Malta will come in. The seaplane can't because it isn't supplied by anything. There's no seaplane hangar in the Med. I will have to send the strat bombers across on the Taranto raid then. So that's free move. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have to land at Malta. It's the only thing in range. Greece is no longer pro-allied. That is allied. So I'm going to get rid of, if I can click on it, the pro-allied thing. And then
okay, this is a bit of a turn changer, really.
Yeah, find Greece in the thing somewhere along. Oh, there it is. And make them allies. There we go. Oh, and they'll immediately declare war.
Because picking Hitler, I don't get Turkey. If I picked Mussolini,
yeah, if you
I would
pick
have got
Mussolini,
Turkey.
you get the Attila Mussolini pact, don't you? But yep, I can move Greece. I mean, Greece won't last long. They got no industry set up. That's the big problem, and they haven't. The only thing they've got to attack with is biplanes that have no airfield. So I need to build an airfield. To build an airfield, I need to build a minor industrial complex. To build a minor industrial complex, I need to build barracks. The reality is that's a defensive force in Greece. However, if I abandon Greece, what I've got is a number of defensive biplanes that I can use in Cairo.
True.
Why?
And Cairo is another one that's always up
It's
against
a
it.
linchpin, yeah.
Yeah, it is big linchpin. That is true.
Okay,
yeah.
let's have a look at Africa then. So that IPC in Transjordan comes down to Cairo. right, Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, Kenya, and Tanganyika will put their money into Rhodesia. That's all I can do at the moment there. This guy in Nigeria is going to walk to French West Africa and is saying, oh, you lost your government. You know what? I'm going to administer this territory for you, which sadly wipes out the IPC that's in it. So what I'm doing here to explain is I'm going to build a barracks in Rhodesia. I know I'm going to lose some territories around here, and the Italians are going to take them. I mean, they have a tanker, 2 infantry, and an artillery. I'm not strong enough to fight that right now, but they can't come into Cairo.
You do have a South African cargo ship. You could bump some South Africans straight up to Belgian Congo.
Yeah.
Although they're not gone though, but
that's far more useful being British. British get to build the better stuff. Now, so I think we've done Africa for the moment. I don't need to do anything with that supply truck in Nigeria. Do I want to move that oil tanker yet? It's not under threat. There's nothing that can threaten it.
I just realised I forgot the grass spay.
You did forget the grass spay, but it can't attack anyway. It hasn't got supplies. What it can do is it can block the mouth of the Med, but might not be wise to do that with the entirety of the British fleet in the Bay of Biscay. Right, that's Africa done.
Yeah.
South Africa gets to move with Britain, so let's bring that IPC across to there.
It can be a very useful nation, actually, South Africa.
They can be indeed. Right. They can only build 1 unit a turn, though, because they relied mostly on volunteers because of apartheid. So these guys will come up to here. Yep. Oh, wait. No, you've got cargo ship. You can't get past me, so that's fine. So cargo ships can transport infantry, but they cannot do a landing, or at least if you do a landing, you cannot attack on the first turn. To attack on the first turn, you need to use landing craft. So cargo ships can move IPC and troops around quite happily. They can also supply your naval forces. Very useful cargo ships. It's like an upgraded version of the transport. The landing ship can't carry the IPCs. It only carries units. But critically, it's what you need for a naval landing. So all I've done here is I've moved some troops up to Kenya to basically either slow down the Italian advance or encourage them to go westwards rather than towards South Africa, where I've got a factory. Transjordan's going to move into Saudi Arabia. And, well, it's not just Saudi. It's one big square on this map called Saudi Arabia, but really it's what? Oman, UAE, you've got Aden, Yemen, Kuwait, Bahrain. It's like the hugest square on the board. It's like there was room for other countries, Axis and allies. Seriously. Right. Now the Pacific. So before I forget, there's a thingy at Gilbert Islands. And oh no, there's no score. Wait a minute. Is the turn counter wrong? It is wrong. I thought it was right. The turn counter should have been reset to 0 and wasn't. My apologies. Which means Britain hasn't got its supplies from here. Never mind. Well, I've got to move it away from the Japanese anyway.
The Japanese are going to hurt you.
I'm going to move to Fiji. I thought it was odd that nations that normally get 1 IPC on the first turn didn't have any. Right, so then what are we going to do about this? So the Raj are going to act as a screening force in 36 in turns to come. That will go to that naval base now. Oh, actually, just thinking, what are you going to send in? You've got a lot you can send into there, haven't you? I can't fight it. No, I can't save the Dutch ships. Put that there. Am I going to do... No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Right. There are two ways to do it. Basically, Britain can either stuff a load of stuff on Borneo with a screening force to slow the Japanese up. You fight for as much time as you can possibly make, and then get everything out of Borneo, possibly out of these other islands as well, if you can.
Which I did last time.
And
And
you
it
can
worked
do it,
for a
especially
while.
with 2 battleships. But I'm thinking, with all those extra Vichy ships, I'm actually tempted to send the British Navy west and ignore the Pacific for now.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
In any case, I still need to get some supplies out of Borneo. I don't want you arriving there in like term 2. So I will move those ships up for now. I'm going to send an oil tanker over to Borneo. Now, Britain can give supplies to Raj. Raj cannot give supplies to Britain. You need Churchill for that, and I'm using Chamberlain. So these ships are not going to extract supplies from there. They're going to use the fact that they're in a naval base to attack the Italian fleet at 76. You will not get that.
Well, I think fleet is over optimistic.
I have British ships. Now, the other thing is Raj cannot attack without the presence of a British ship. So I'm actually tempted
to leave
just
one
send
behind,
that. Send the patrol boat with it, because it's not going to be able to do much without. All it could do is delay you otherwise.
That's the typical of the Britain, that is. You attack a small couple of ships like that and call it a fleet.
That's what I'm using.
Wow. That's typical of a Cornishman. Now, I'm going to use this supply truck to move these 3 supplies up to the railway at Burma. We'll send that oil over. And the IPC from West India. That is enough for a tank and an infantry.
We did forget something. I just remembered. We forgot to downgrade the factory in France.
Oh, yes.
When I saw the factory in India, it reminded me. If I didn't say anything, I forget. Sorry.
Yeah. When you capture territory, you don't get major factories. You can only have major factories in your home starting territory. Right. I suppose I'm going to do the Persia thing, aren't I? So I need a British troop, a supply truck to West India, some infantry, a light tank. I really need some artillery. So why don't I build an SPG?
The Raj desperately needs to keep English people alive because they can't do anything without them.
Yep. You have to start your turn with... Oh, they don't get an SPG on turn 1. I get a tankette, though. Well, that's rubbish against Persia. Good against Japan, though. I'll worry about that later. I guess I'm just going to have to build regular old artillery then. And a light tank. Neither of which will arrive this turn, which is a bit frustrating. So, eek. I'm going to move this Raj guy to Shan State, this Raj guy to Burma. I'll leave those troops in India for the moment. The Indian supply ships, not going to do anything for now. That is the beginning. Oh, hang on. That oil should always go onto the oil tanker, because I would rather you sank my ships than capture the oil.
Yeah.
I should probably do the same with Nigeria, to be honest, even though I'm not moving it anywhere yet. There we go. Okay, that is all of Britain moved. It's quite a big move to do Britain.
Britain is big and it's so spread out, it's very hard to keep track of.
Yeah. Oh.
Is there something else?
That is, yes. This oil tanker goes 1, 2. Hang on, can I get to there, or will you attack? You will attack. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Joins that coastal patrol boat, and now it's out of your range. I'd love it to get to Newfoundland, Labrador, but not going to happen. Right. So first battle then is the Bay of Biscay, where we attack the French fleet. Should have been in the
foregone
Bahamas, really,
conclusion.
but according to history. Now,
you've got enough there.
Neither of our naval strategies are going to help. I was just thinking, though, what I can do, because it's essentially free damage. Because they're in range, I can send these 2 fighters. I'm just thinking, can I get Scotland? Free move, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can, it just has to land in London, which is fine because radar. So I'm going to add these fighters into the mix before we start fighting.
Okay.
I don't think I've missed anything elsewhere, so you can't scramble anything in range. So allies battle. Look at used to clicking allies after 2 games as Axis. I killed everything, so the salient advance doesn't account for much here.
Everything. I still have a seaplane.
That should be on your side, French biplane. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 hits. Why was the biplane?
Is it already gone? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? That should be gone.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it was on my side of the board. I'm just wondering. I think I got the dice for it as well. So
is it not a? Oh, okay. So she should have
been one of the
dice.
3s.
Is it counted as a French?
2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 units attacking on a free. 1, 2, 3. I count 6. One of these 6s is actually your dice. So there are 6 of them. So if you roll a dice, if it's a 2 or 6, you scored a hit and I didn't. Because that should have been on your side of the board.
In Atlantic, and it is a 4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the miss, or a miss. So it makes no difference. And I did score enough hits to wipe you out. 5 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. Which is good because I didn't send any supplies down and would have basically run out of steam after a turn. Because I didn't have any supplies. So I'm kind of glad I moved the Air Force in. I will blockade Vichy while I'm here. Trollolol. Right, next battle. The Taranto raid. Are you scrambling? Biplane, fighter, and tack bomber. And/or rather.
Yes.
Okay.
I am scrambling.
Add them to the pile.
I can't scramble my seaplane, can I? So
No.
that's. Oh, can I? Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I've got them selected.
Oh, that's a big mess. That is a big mess.
Okay.
This could go either way, I reckon.
I have no tactics cards I can use for this, but I
I have a
believe
battleship.
you have big gun philosophy. What does that do?
That gives me an extra hit.
Oh.
The battleships may take additional attack each round of combat.
Oh, no.
That's a big, beautiful battleship right there.
Oh, that's really powerful, actually. I will probably at some point nerf that card, by the way. Not for this game, obviously, but
that is going to be. This is a very even fight. It's on the dice. It's really on the dice.
I wonder if we even gets the advantage here.
I don't know. I think it's even.
Battle. Oh, I've got an extra unit apparently. I've got a salient advance. Oh my word! Have you seen that dice roll?
Woohoo!
Right. Well, that is not how I'm taking my casualties.
That's how the Italians roll.
Yes, we'll damage the
I get an extra attack because does that come into it?
I'm
I get an extra attack because of the battleship.
Yes.
I'm going to choose a different
You have
red
to
this
roll a
time.
dice. Roll a red one.
I'm rolling a
Right
dice.
here.
Red one right here. Oh, no. Okay.
Okay, how do you do that then?
Or, well, you just mouse over it and press R. Or roll it. One of them roll-o-matics. Doesn't matter.
A roll-o-matic. Roll-o-matic, and I get a
Hit.
4.
That is a hit. So I need to get an additional hit in there. So, bink. Now, the Strat Bomber is definitely not dying. I think I'll have the Destroyer. And you know what? Although do you have subs in the med?
Cruiser. Yeah, the
No.
one there. Sub.
Yeah. What?
Sub there.
In the med?
Sub. It's
Where?
on the battle board.
Oh, I see. Oh, God damn it. Well, you know what? I think I'm actually fine with you. Because, like, at the end of the day, if you attack, and you can still shoot back. That is how I'm going to take my casualties. These...
Are you staying in it? You can't. You've got no supply.
I can't. I've got no supply. I just sent the supply sheet to Greece.
Italians win!
There's all these
Italians
choices.
win!
There are so many choices on the first turn. Oh, but I got a salient advance, which means you are pushed out the space and have to retreat.
Okay. Do I get to choose where I retreat to?
Well, as long as it's friendly territory, yes.
Okay, that's excellent. It's lucky I threw those planes into it, actually. So that means I'm retreating to 97.
I actually, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice these ships because they have 0 chance of survival. I may as well have the biplanes.
Up to you. I mean, that's where you want to play it.
I don't want to do it that way at all. But the reality is,
in Africa,
their chances of survival are actually 0.
So does this mean I now have to vacate 95 or not?
You have to vacate 95 still.
Okay.
I won the battle. My aeroplanes were hovering overhead, chased you off. They achieved a tactical victory, as it were.
This is a mess.
It is a mess. You've actually moved a seaplane into your thing there.
I need to repair my battleship. Someone's damaged my battleship.
I have.
Bloody British flying around the place, damaging people's battleships.
Harry.
What are you even doing in the Med? You don't have it.
I go outside.
You're in the Atlantic, not the Med.
What? What are you saying? I'm confused.
The British, what have you been doing in the Med, damaging people's battleships? You should be in the Atlantic.
I'll have you know, I own the Med.
Not now, you don't.
Do? Where's your empire? Albania? That was a disaster. That could not have possibly gone more wrong for me.
That was a biggie.
Note to self: the Taranto raid without supplies is not worth doing. No, that was just the way it rolled. I got 1 hit, and almost all of your dice hit. That was unbelievable. But it's just, I mean, these things happen in board games, right? But ouch, that has changed the game. Okay, so this fleet I sent towards the Med may have to take. May have to go around like Cape Hope.
They hit the long way around.
Yeah. Okay. None of our tactics cards can help here. So, Allies battle. I got veterans. Come on, what have I got? I've got a cruiser.
Hey, darling.
Hello. I'm streaming, by the way.
Hello, audience.
So, yes, I've got a veteran cruiser. And that is it. And I've sunk all your ships.
Oh yeah, big British Navy attacking the little coastal patrol boat. I got a veteran. Ooh.
And guess what? It's not in the Atlantic. Do you know why? I own all the seas, including this one, which I'm guessing is Indian Ocean at that point, or is it called something else that close to Africa? I'm not sure. And so I will blockade Ethiopia while I'm here, because I'm just passing through. Was that my only other battle? I think it was, wasn't it? Yes. Yes. Okay. Now it's time for the Anzacs, which at some point I ought to separate these. Basically, if it's on the Pacific side, they're Australian. If it's on the Atlantic side, they're Canadian. But I really should have made them separate nations. The first thing I'm going to do here is put those two IPC into there, just over the train lines. Then we're going to send a cargo ship. Yeah, you see, this cargo ship would normally pick up on the way back in the first turn. I really did mess that up. This one will pop out to New Zealand and back, giving us one supply. I'll leave that seaplane there so that one can't attack. I'm wondering if you were to throw all of the Raj ships that can reach into 45 and all of the Anzacs, can you defend Dutch New Guinea from the opening Japanese move?
How much they commit? Possibly not if it's everything.
So this supply truck moves across southern Australia on this occasion and picks up another 2 IPC. And I think I might have to offload that supply. You know what? Right. I'll offload the supply there. I'm going to move the fleet to Queensland. I'm going to move
because of the naval base.
Yeah, and this seaplane, I've got a seaplane hangar, so we can actually it doesn't. It's fine. Just goes to New Guinea, just to stop you attacking my fleet, because you can do it from there, but from Caroline, but not with. Oh wait, 1, 2. Yeah, you can't. You could only use the stuff in Caroline, which wouldn't be enough. I'd win that because I got my airbase. So I'm going to set some production here. Oh, I've got some more I can throw in. Oh, and there's a naval. I could go in with a coastal patrol boat against one of yours, but I'll save it till next turn. And I'll leave that there to stop you moving out. So Australia will... I should have done the build first. Australia will build a fighter. Should probably have built a tank, but I built a fighter. There we go. Actually, that oil tanker's going the wrong way, isn't it? It wants to go... Actually, I don't think I can afford oil. not. So basically, at the start of the war, the shock of the war disrupts the markets and the prices start really high. They will come down based on the quantity of oil that's on the board as the game progresses. So, Canada, let's get... one IPC over in the west, isn't there? I need to go pick that up. One. Come on, pick it up. 2, 3. That's no railway line there. So they're just going to build a couple of trains on the first turn. Get that infrastructure built up. And then I'm going to move that patrol boat to Newfoundland, Labrador. And that patrol boat What have I left at 108? Was that a mistake?
No, I think you moved it there, didn't you? For some reason.
Okay.
Literally got it out of this flotilla in the Bay of Biscay.
I don't know why I would have done that. Right, well, we're going to have a front line anyway in the Atlantic, and we're just going to try and push it down as the quantity of ships builds up.
The shark left.
So that's Anzacs. Oh, I forgot to do the actual build for all of these nations. Oh, I have separated Canada on the country list. I haven't done it with the units. It's Italy next. At this point, I was going to suggest we take a couple of minutes break.
Yep, that's fine with me.
Resume after a drink.
I'll get
So,
a drink with you.
if you are watching the stream, I'm not sure. Everyone's currently offline. We've lost our audience. Never mind. Well, Ronnie says he's going to catch up later, and Steve often watches our stuff, but not live.
get
So,
the
if you do, hi, Steve. If you're somebody else that watches not live, let us know. Say so in the comments, and be cool.
Yeah,
Join
it's a
us
big
every
game.
Friday for these until about early summer, I think, is when this war will end.
Yeah, it's
Right,
a
we'll
big
be back
game.
in
Call
5
it.
minutes on this stream, though. Big game, yes. And I'm back.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, well, after
No.
the Toronto raid, particularly bad.
Well, Italy's always an interesting proposition. They're really uniquely positioned with not a lot of resources.
Never mind.
Yep. Basically.
Well, I think initially, what have I got? Oh, yeah, you sacrificed all your ships, didn't you?
Huh. Don't say that like it was on purpose.
It was on purpose. You had the choice. You could have kept them. That
They would have
biplane,
died.
they would have died. You're entirely true. I couldn't have not attacked them.
I
That
know.
biplane will hit that cargo as you predicted.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it? That's a transport. That's interesting. That's what's that Greek supply cart doing in Albania?
That should be in Greece. I think it was in my way at the time.
Bloody Greeks. I didn't expect to come out of that quite so well, to be brutally honest. I will load that supply on that truck
How about
because we're going to need that. Supply. Right, they have a major factory in the north, so I'll take that 2 from there. I'll load that onto the major factory.
Don't you want to leave one for your battleship?
That is a good point.
Oh, hang on. You've got no naval base that
I
side.
can't. I have to move it back to the other side.
Mm.
So I had to move it out of the way, didn't I? Because
Yeah, the salient.
yeah. So I'm putting those 2 oil onto the north. I will put that one back. You're quite correct, though.
Well, you can repair it at the naval base as well next turn. It can't be until next turn because you've got to get to one of those, either the naval base or the shipyard.
Yeah, but I can move it now.
You can move it, yeah.
I'll move it
may
now.
as well spend the IPC and
Oh yeah, I see what you're
do it
saying.
next turns.
Okay, so I'll do that. Right. So trouble with Italy is they need everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. And now they've got free run of the med. Well, they don't know what to do with it.
I have to say the med has gone really badly for me. Really bad.
It did the last game though, but in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I was Axis and it went really bad for me. At least until the late mid game when I took it back.
You did take it back. I did run away though. I didn't fight you for the med.
That's because it was a foregone conclusion.
That biplane's going to come down. Those biplanes will come in because they're more useful on the airfield. I'll have to sort this out in a minute. What am I going to buy though? What am I going to buy?
You could also get another 2 IPC back from Albania.
I'm going to load that onto the supply truck.
Mm-hmm.
Plans.
Okay.
And
coming into Greece.
And that biplane will also fly back. So I need to build in northern Italy. And what do the Italians get? What do they get? Lots. Oh, landing craft, interesting.
I'm going to do the light tank artillery combo.
Insufficient IPCs. Let me have a quick look at the board to see where I am.
If you brought the 2 from Albania to northern Italy, you could build them this turn.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I want to do that. What's that one there?
Oh,
Is that
yeah,
on
you've got
cargo?
one on a cargo ship, and you've got
I've
another
done-
one on the other cargo ship as well.
What?
That would give you enough.
I don't need them on the cargo ships at this time.
I'm joining.
So I will do that. 6, so I'll deplete. What the hell?
Okay.
That's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Where am I to
Note
here?
for people learning the game, if you do change the IPC midway through production, you need to reset the
Whoa.
factory.
You do.
Because what it's
Yeah.
actually doing is it's
No,
resetting
no,
these
no,
counters
no.
here. That's what's actually used.
So that is my purchase for Italy. Movement for Italy, however. What I need to do for Italy is reinforce Albania.
Worried about a Greek counterattack.
I'm
Well,
always worried about a Greek counterattack. That's why you move your guy there.
it's not technically a counterattack. It would be an offensive, but yes.
Right, true. So mech infantry can move down. Is tankettes 1 or 2 spaces?
They can move too. But not blitz. I don't think. What did I say?
Okay.
I've got a bazillion unit cards where I keep my notes. Did I even write one for the tankette? Or did I just code it up? I think I just coded it up.
Don't think northern Italy is at any risk at the moment. Of a landing, that is.
May as well give them blitz. Go on, we'll give them blitz.
Ow, what?
Okay, so I've got what's a cargo
Who
ship?
won?
I've got a cargo ship, and I've got.
The cargo ships are dropped off, so they can't move.
Damn it. Okay, so they're done.
Sorry.
That is a coastal patrol boat. So I'm going to start that guy in northern Italy into Yugoslavia and replace him with someone from southern Italy. Not wanting to leave the place completely empty. Can't pick up from there yet. Fleet, what's the fleet going to do? Now the sub will blockade. I think, yeah, they're going to have to do that. So the rest of the ships are going to have to guard that battleship. Otherwise, it's very, very vulnerable.
Oh, totally. Would have died.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So
Instead, I'm going to kill your cargo ships.
Oh, no.
Cargo ship? Oh my god, those cargo ships. I can scramble. I can scramble to that though.
That can't move. It's
Oh,
dropped
that
off.
can't move. A tanker can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rest of them I can scramble to. Not an issue. What will I do with that transport? Nothing at this point, I don't think, because they do get paratroopers, don't they, Italy?
They should do.
I'm going to move up to
Apparently
Brook.
not.
Oh, okay. I'm going to move it to Brook.
Probably more because I never found a model, but yeah.
And is that the only? No, they don't. They have Africa. Have a supply. I think that's probably some dead South Africans we're looking at.
Yes. Hitler Pro.
Damn.
Okay, so I think that is it for Italy at the moment.
Oh, this is going so badly.
It's going brilliantly. Okay, so what do you want to do first?
Just accept the fact that this is going to be a really long game because when I have a bad first turn, it takes me a long time to win.
I think the only combat is Kenya, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Can I? No, nothing. I've got nothing of use, so this is all over to you. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can. I don't know if Tankets should be able to blitz. Otherwise, I might have to remove the one in Africa. Oh, what happened there? Oh, we got the blank side. The one side of the tactics die that doesn't do anything.
That is, I can't carry on because I've got no more supply.
Perfect. We
Not
held the
really.
line.
South Africans, damn it.
You are forced to retreat.
I probably thought they'd be too busy barbecuing.
The thing is, because I did the wrong, I didn't reset the turn counter before play. I didn't get enough money to buy another infantry for next turn.
I'm sure you're doing all right.
No. South Africa gets nothing next turn. That really impacts the game. That was such a balls up.
So that's Italy done.
What I should do, I shall deduct one turn, but I'll do it after the next turn because odds and evens change the amount of IPC generated for all the halves. So I will adjust the turn counter for the tech tree because tech tree stuff comes out in certain turns, but I will do it after the second turn so that we don't get the different number of odd and even turns. Right, so yes, Italy done. Let's hit the next player button. I'll do it. So I'm right there. America, Mexico. Okay. Right. See, Peru's weird because it's allied but pro-Axis. So if Axis troops land there, it switches side. I don't know if I want to build them up. I don't know if I care about building Peru up so they break out of South Africa. The thing is, it has such an impact on the politics, doesn't it? If I go in now, I get them a lot of IPC by buying their oil now. This is what you have to do to get Peru to build up. You've got to buy their oil. Let's do it. Oil tanker will go there and I'll buy that oil. Now, they're a player nation and South American oil is 8. So, oops. So when they're a player nation, you give them the IPC. For a non-player nation, you just spend it. There we go. Then I'm going to move that 5 from central over to eastern. In the west, we're going to build 2 trains. And now the battleships or anything that gets moved to Hawaii, apart from cargo ships, cannot leave Hawaii. And because of the turn count, none of these islands got IPC on them. So I'm not going to move anything from there at the moment. I'll keep my carrier away for the time being. It's going to be a slow start for America. So over in the east, I want 2 trains, I think. Can't afford more oil, so infrastructure on turn 1. That gives me enough left over for infantry or a tank. But at the moment, just infantry. Save the oil. That will be very useful later. They're a bit crippled on oil in the early game, but once America is at war, they get loads. Mexico, I'm not going to do anything with them yet because, like Peru, they really need to sell their oil. So,
Yeah.
next player.
And the next player is Nationalist China.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I'm
heard
going
she
to
has to go
forfeit
now.
Jiangxi. Now, Guangxi is interesting. It's Portuguese. If an Asian power takes it, you do not go to war with Portugal. And also, all Chinese territories, including Hong Kong, Yahoo all the way down to Guangxi, they are capitals within China. So, for the sake of the IPC being reset, they do not. However, I can't pick up the IPC from the space I've just moved in. However, once it goes to a non-Asian power, it is no longer a capital. So Hong Kong currently is not a capital. But if it's
either blue or
owned by an
green.
Asian power, it is a capital.
And unlike the A&A game, if you invade Hong Kong, it doesn't bring the US in.
Indeed, the USA does not come into war when you attack Hong Kong. But yes, I'm forfeiting Jiangxi because those are veterans and I don't want to fight without the veteran counter. I do, however, want to obliterate communist China without having to fight them. Because, like, no way. Now, you can move IPC up the Burma Road. However, I haven't left myself enough to build on turn 1. I forgot, and that's really frustrating. So, Szechuan has 2 IPC, which is 1 short of what is needed for infantry. Whilst Burma Road
Supply cart?
I don't want another supply cart at the moment. I've got one.
You will do.
This is true. I will do. In fact, I think I will. It's up there. There we go. 1 supply cart.
And you're leaving the Flying Tigers in Burma?
No. They're no good as an offensive unit in this version of A&A because there's no airfield and I'm not going to industrialize China. So unless on the odd chance I take Jiangsu, then there's never going to be an airfield. So they're only improving my defense. So there's no point sitting in Burma. Unless I use them to defend the Raj, which would be a bit of a cheek.
Well, can I say you moved out of Guangxi? You could have gone into Hunan and picked up that supply with your supply
Why would
cart.
I do that? Because next turn I can go into Hunan and get both IPC.
Okay.
Because you can't reach it.
No, not at the moment.
That is it for Nationalist China. Empire of Japan and Manchukuo.
This is an interesting pairing as well, because we do have the option of Siam as well, which we'll probably come into it later.
Yes, you have the option of working with Thailand, but if you do that, all the territories that are Raj. So in this game, unlike the whole Pacific board being Raj, the Raj area is any territory that goes to Britain between West India, French Indochina, and Malaya. That has to go to Raj. Because that is the Raj. Ceylon as well. Anything else goes to the British Empire. So the Raj is purely a purchasing restriction for this area here. Now, the interesting thing is if Japan uses and it's only Japan, not any Axis nations, so they're not technically pro-Axis. If Japan moves into Thailand and decides to work with them, So they activate Thailand by going in as if they were pro-Axis. They have the option of Thailand being an ally. But they then also have to cede that same territorial claim, but to Thailand. So it's a choice. Do you make use of these extra units you can get in Siam, and Japan is always short on units, or do you just conquer it? Because you can. You're Japanese. You have that option.
And the thing with Manchukuo is the same as the Raj. They can't actually attack unless they've got a Japanese unit with them at the start of the round, the turn.
Yes. The Raj and Manchukuo are very much forced to fight. The other thing about Manchukuo is you can move their supplies to Japan, but you cannot move Japanese supplies to Manchukuo.
Mhm.
You can extract resources, you cannot give them.
I will offload that one from the supply cart to the to Korea, and I'll build in Korea.
That's new, that barracks for this game. I didn't do that previously.
No, I didn't think I'd seen it before.
I did eventually industrialize Korea in our last game, but it was very
You
late.
did. It was
I
late.
left it way too late, really.
Generally, Kwang Si is the one that gets industrialized first, isn't it?
Mm.
I think this guy can move to here with a supply cart because he started that turn with a Japanese soldier.
He's gone in by himself, so
I'm wondering if
you
I
can
should.
make it. You can extend Manchukuo because it's adjacent.
I'm wondering if I should actually though, because I'm thinking no, turn it Japanese.
Then if the Japanese goes with him, it has to be Japanese.
There's a lot here though. We've got 1, 2, 3, 5 there, 4 there. So 5 attacking. You'd need. Yeah, that's like a 6, isn't it? But there's plenty there to keep them off. Okay. We don't have another supply here. Which is a shame. It's probably sent that supply that way actually. If I sent that supply that way, I could offload.
Did you want to pick up the one from Yehol on the way? Yeah.
Yeah, pick up that one, put 2 on there.
That's oil.
That's oil. I always do that. Don't I, Becky? Okay, we'll build in there as well.
Yeah, you can go for artillery.
That's okay. I'll do that for the moment.
So provided you've still got a connection to Japan, you're allowed to build artillery. For communist China, they have to get their border to be adjacent to Russia before they can build artillery in a barracks. Communist China is an awkward one because this is a 2-player game, but so the rules that we have for it are kind of like it's odd because it's like they're a puppet of Russia, but they're fighting on the Axis side. In real life, in real history, they actually postponed their war until the end of World War II. Well, until Japan was dealt with, basically.
This group will move down to here. This group will move down to here. Cargo ship. That cargo ship there will pick up. Oh, there's not one in Guangxi, so it'll go up here and drop
There's
off.
one in Formosa.
Okay, yeah, that's true. There is. So he will pick up that one.
Should we do the thing where, like, you finish the turn in the bottom right or something, so you know which cargoes you've moved?
Yeah, good move.
And
So
next
drops off
turn, use
to
the top right of the space.
There's a cargo ship there. Once a cargo ship dropped off, that's the end of its move, isn't it?
Yes.
What I've got to be wary of is this French fleet here.
No, you haven't.
I do. Oh no, they don't have any. They don't have any supplies.
You've got French Indochina. I can't supply the battleship.
That is very true. Thank God for that. He's unsupplied.
Yeah,
No,
the
so
battleship's not a threat.
you can't attack at all.
Submarine,
Can you?
however.
You can't attack at all, can you? No. I'm feeling a lot happier now. Okay, so where was I? Quanzu. That one will make it back to Japan, and he will drop off. So put him over there. So he'll drop off there. That goes to 5. Although he's done, he will make it back. No, he will go that way.
You could pick up from Formosa.
Good point. He will take that tanker back then and drop off oil into Japan.
And the other thing he can do is he can pick up the oil from Manchukuo, which, why has that got 2? That should not start with 2. It should start with 1.
One, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it starts with, it's got none now.
Yeah, fair enough. And then that must be empty.
My only oil tanker, I believe. Oil on. Chesapeake fleet. I do have cargo there with 1. Four and 5. That's a decent amount in Japan. That is a decent amount. That's it for Japan. In China, I have a cargo, I have a oil tanker there. Can't get to go through that one. Can't go through there. You can't get up. No, you can't. Got no naval base. Okay. Purchasing then. I set the shipyard in Japan.
Ooh.
My cruiser. And kind of my cruise control boat as well. Insufficient oil. That's a destroyer. Yes. No. Damn it.
No, IPC now. But I think you've got 1 IPC on another cargo ship.
I do. Okay, so you think I could do that then with 1 APC extra, do you?
Yeah,
I
you're
can drop
1
that
short.
off. I can drop that off then. It slows me down.
Yeah, this one here.
It does slow me down, but I can do it. Didn't want to, but what can you do? What
Build
can you
more
do
ships.
when you need the ships? Japan never has enough ships. Men, supply ships, aircraft.
Actually, you do have enough aircraft.
Okay, so interesting move. These destroyer submarine. Let me just move those. Okay, because they're not supplied.
Yeah, you got naval base.
Ah, of course they are. That has a naval base as well, and that has a naval base as well. Can't get there. So they could go in against this Dutch fleet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
1 turn of action.
It's a cargo ship. That's a destroyer. He could go in against that fleet.
Yeah.
Sticky mouse problem. Okay, there we go. The ship's up here.
You also, at Caroline Islands, there's a seaplane hangar, so you can send that seaplane in to use as a hit point if you want.
Yeah. I'm getting to planes in just a
Dutch do
second.
have a cruiser there. It's sort of a plane. Part boat, part plane.
That's a strap bomber, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, and a fighter.
Okay, we've achieved overkill. That one, that seaplane isn't supplied, but the one at Caroline Islands is.
So he can go in.
Mm-hmm.
He's supplied as well, but I'll move him down to here for later. The main Japanese fleet will leave base. I will load the landing craft as well, but this slot there will go 1, 2, 3.
That's looking a little bit like the Australia strategy. Oh, damn. That wasn't meant to happen.
We're going to load two landing craft. Landing craft. There.
There's one. Beautifully arranged. Oh, it fell over. What a shame. That was looking kind of epic. No. Get off.
What are you doing to me?
Hey, I nearly had that. There we go. Look at that. Perfectly balanced. Guns, you've got to get them pointing out the side. Oh, that went wrong. That's my fault entirely. I was trying to get it away from the airfield for you. It just made things worse. I try to help. I'm a nightmare.
No, this you're doing fine.
Oh, god damn it. It's gone wrong. The collision zones on the Japanese infantry model is terrible.
We'll do no better with the planes. Okay. Because America is not currently at war with Japan, there's nothing to fear from this fleet in Hawaii.
That would be a declaration of war by going
No,
into the airspace.
oh shit! I'm only stacking.
Oh, okay.
He shouldn't even be there. Sorry, he should be on the island.
So what you mean is they're at Caroline.
They're at Caroline. Attack bombers are also at Caroline. And I think that is probably it for the Japanese.
Okay. Let's do the obligatory defeat of the Dutch in turn 1.
Not all the Dutch.
That fleet always dies in the first turn. Don't think either of us get a tactics card of use. You got an extra hit if you needed it. Oh, I got 2 on you though. Glad you sent the seaplane in now.
I'm not taking on a fighter, that's for sure. Where's my sub?
cheap units as Japanese, so it's wolf packed, so it's on 3. So wolf packs with submarines, if they attack in pairs, they get +1 on their attack, which makes them quite potent.
So we defeat the Dutch at Dutch New Guinea.
Well,
The
sea.
planes
Ah,
have to fly back. I think they came from here, didn't they?
Strat bomber and a fighter did. I don't know where the other fighter came from. Probably Palau, but you could send it back to either. It'll have the range.
They'll both fly back to Palau.
Probably wise.
There we go.
The scramble limits.
And I think
Right.
that's the only actual battle we've incurred. Yep, done.
Okay.
Communist China.
Yeah. I mean, they have a choice of one thing. Do they load supplies or not? Because they're completely surrounded.
There's a fairly significant force facing them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8, 9. 1, 2, 3. They're not going in against them, that's for sure.
No. Well, I think, like,
I think they
genuinely,
will load that supply.
I think the only thing you can do is fight your way west and get to the coast and then build a new barracks.
So they're not doing anything this turn.
Steamroller behind you, basically. If you go west, I actually have to think about how many troops I send because I have to cover Szechuan.
True.
Whereas you can just abandon Hopai and just keep marching for the warlords. Yes, that's them done, isn't it?
Yep.
Next up, Third French Republic. Well, they have some moves. I don't
They
actually
do
know
have
what they've
moves.
got, though. We have oil tankers there and there. I'm going to repatriate those two. Oh, no, just there. And repatriate that one. There's no point in that being French. Small fleet there. Ah, that saves half the time for the battleship. I can take it from Madagascar, whilst the other one comes back and gets a bigger section of supplies. The submarine, I could take a destroyer on, or actually, it's just a destroyer. Why didn't you move your other oil tanker down to Formosa for next turn? That's annoying. You sunk it. The other option is I could use them to fight the Vichy French warship in New Hebrides, but I think that's going to attack at Formosa. Unsupported attack from a submarine, so it will deplete. This cargo ship, 1, 2, 3. This cargo ship will load up at French Madagascar and only move 2. The battleship
I was trying to get
will go to
supplied.
Borneo.
We can supply the battleship, are we?
Yeah, probably. Right, this tanker 1, 2. This tanker. Let me select it. Come on. Oh God, you've got a submarine in the way. 1, 2. Naval base at Gibraltar 104.
Horrible.
No, because you will just sink. But then I'd definitely kill you, so that's fine. Wait, I've got no supplies on that fleet. No, I don't definitely kill you. 1. And and then there's no naval base, so I'll sit under cover of the Americas. So Germany can't enter 101 without declaring war. That's American coastal waters. So yeah, that's pretty safe for me. And I've got this patrol boat over here. I suppose I could just send that up with the these cargo ships just to get a hit point on that battleship. Now, land forces. This supply truck will pop to Morocco and back in order to supply the French Foreign Legion. This French Foreign Legion will march into French Central Africa and pick up some supplies on the way, so they have the ability to attack. So I think that's everything that survived the Vichy flip, which was just so much.
Nothing in Africa? You've done everything in Africa?
I moved some supply trucks, but everything else belongs to you. So let's do this submarine attack on that destroyer.
That's about it, isn't it? Yeah.
No tactics cards help.
Oh, it's a destroyer.
Yeah.
Could be interesting. Extra hit.
I've killed you,
Yeah.
and you've killed me.
Oh.
Well, there we go. The tactics die swung it for me. So in the case when initiative is tied, it goes to the attacker. That is it for France. They can't build anything because they've got no capital. Vichy France.
Vichy France. The real French, you mean?
Not really, no.
Just lost any French followers we've had.
I don't know if there's many French that are proud of Vichy. I mean, they were fascists.
That's what I mean.
Mind you, they did nearly elect Marie Le Pen.
As I said, by calling the real French, we just lost any French.
Oh, no. I think you just made them stop rooting for me, apart from those who support Marie Le Pen, who are now rooting for you. But then they would have been anyway, because you're playing Axis.
I can't move out of Tunisia because I'm not supplied.
We can move east,
I'm not going to do that.
because that's Axis territory.
Because I'm going to move in southern France. I'm going to move into Normandy with these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take that one out of Normandy and put it into southern. I'm going to build in southern France.
That'll be an infantry.
That will be an infantry, most certainly. So where's my Vichy guys?
There you go. I've put one on the buy board for you.
Thank you. What am I going to do with Vichy?
Well, I suggest the first thing you do is protect your capital.
What am I going to do with Vichy?
And you need to take Algeria so you can get the oil home.
I do need to take Algeria, yeah. That is on the cards, but not just at the moment. Obviously, I need to build up a little bit.
Yeah, we probably want a landing craft. Do you get them as Vichy, though?
You
I don't
do.
know if I gave the French, did I?
What I'll do, I will amalgamate the fleet in 93.
No, you don't get landing craft. You only get cargo ships.
Okay. I will amalgamate the fleet in 93, just so they're a little bit more protected.
You could bring one IPC home from Tunisia. Unless you want to build a barracks there.
I do want to build a barracks eventually.
There.
I'm building a guy there. Let's look east. Oh, let's look at Middle East. Not a lot going on. I think he's secure where he is at the moment. Okay, Far East. It's Indochina is what it is.
I hate to do this to myself. I hate to point out when somebody's making a mistake. There's the old saying, isn't there? Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
Napoleon.
Yeah. But Iraq.
Oh, we look at that. Oh, that could be worth it. Patrol boat
Always
against patrol
abandon
boat.
Syria. It's why it's so important.
Patrol boat.
What?
Might be worth it in 50.
What are you looking at?
50, Fiji.
Oh, all the way over there. It's not supplied.
Bugger, you're right. Okay, they'll go 1-2 to Gilbert then. Can do 1-2 to New Britain. It's no good. It's still no good, really, is it? You could get to there.
I mean, its only purpose for you. No, that would be a declaration of war against America. Its only purpose for you is blocking movement because it's
not going to stand up to this though.
rogue ship. Exactly. So it's for blocking movement. That's all you can effectively do with that.
So I'll take him out. I'll take him out of the game until I need him. Okay, so let me have a look again at Syria. I mean, you can move in from Cairo.
All right. Syria holds 0 value to you at this time, but next door.
Oh, it's Transjordan. Oh, Iraq. I see what you're saying. Pro-Axis.
All right, that's my Napoleon is turning in his grave. But
No, I know. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, look, we didn't move that biplane back to Italy.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I've got to move into there.
You have to. It's why Syria, it's just it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
And I take it they declare war immediately because they can.
Why wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the British in Saudi. I think that is it for Vichy. Yep,
Okay.
it is. It is.
Go hit the next player button then, and then that'll be the Dutch. And
Have you done it, or
deals
me
to
do
make
me
with
do it?
them. Yeah, go on, you do it because I'm looking elsewhere at the minute.
Done it. Got ships.
I've got ships. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, a few ships.
I have a oil tanker in the English Channel that is going to be repatriated at Lloyd's of London and become British. So let's explain this rule to anyone who watches this later. Any nation which has lost its capital. Oh, I haven't lost its capital.
Nope.
Wow. Yes, it didn't happen on turn 1. Oh, that's annoying. Right, I better move that away then. Oh God, everything's gonna go wrong. All right, I'll just move it under the cover of the RAF. Let's put all my RAF eggs in one basket so that I can actually defend them.
What happened to the Polish tanker?
I deleted it from the game because it never moves. It's just pointless.
They just sit there drinking vodka.
Yeah. Right, I'm gonna load that up and that up. Actually, do I want to load the cargo? I don't want to load the IPC because there's literally no point. We're going to load that oil up. And then that turns to here.
If you've got.
Right, this starts sailing towards Australia, ready for you to take the Dutch capital. That is a blocking ship. This is a blocking ship. Move that to the naval base. Actually, that's going to be the blocking ship. I'll take this destroyer to the naval base so I can do something more useful with it. They've moved. The could have picked up the yeah. You know what? This cargo ship will pick up a couple of Dutch infantry and take it there.
Not reinforcing Malaya then.
No, I'm reinforcing Australia because, like, if you've seen the fleet at Caroline Islands,
Yeah.
couple of possibilities. I don't know which way it's going to go yet. You're either going to take Gilbert Island so you can use your air force to attack Hawaii, do an early Pearl Harbor, or you're going to sweep down Indonesia in order to blockade and then conquer the Raj, or you're going to do what I did in the last game, which is to make a beeline for Australia and smash it before it's ready to defend itself, because that's actually really powerful. And it's one of those things, and I don't know which. Either way, there's no counter to the Japanese fleet at this stage of the game. They own the Pacific. That is the Dutch. Oh, wait, I've got people. Before we did, I do actually have a homeland. They can't do anything, so they're going to sit there. Not used to actually having to check the capital.
Wait for death.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of trying to get them out of there, actually. Right, Greece. So you've got Tankette. That will counter any artillery I haven't got. Infantry, 2 Tankettes. They're pathetic and without, like, they're great if the enemy has artillery because they're recon units. But I don't have artillery, so that's no problem. You've got 3 infantry. I would smash you even if you threw your air force in. The problem is your air force would swing it because you've 1 monoplane. Do I get them out? Let's follow. Look, it cost me the fleet. The whole point of doing this was to defend Cairo with Greek air power. It wasn't to save Greece. I sent British troops into Greece to sacrifice them. It is heartless, I know. I'm going to load the supplies up so I can throw them at the Italians if I choose to. Maybe the Bulgarians. Wait a minute. Bulgaria will go to the side. If you want to pressure them into joining, who has the most units. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 aeroplanes. That would be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from Germany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. Right. If I leave the fighters in Greece for a turn, I get Bulgaria. Right. I threaten them. And Bulgaria flips. Mind you, I'm never going to be able to keep, because you could just flip them back the following turn. If you put pressure on Bulgaria, it doesn't matter if they've chased it, you could flip their side. So I could flip them now. I have the most military units. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the British guy. You have 6, 7. But once I move the biplanes out, I'm down to 6 and you have 7. But it won't matter because you'll have taken their homeland and then they won't flip. I'm keeping the Greeks there for a turn. Actually, I'll get 1 biplane out because I don't need it there yet. And I threaten Bulgaria with invasion and they join my side. So Bulgaria, this did not happen historically. Bulgaria joins the Allies.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're always doing something unexpected.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I mean, they are the most. I'd rather have Yugoslavia, frankly, but
Well, they're going to be dead next round anyway. But
what, Bulgaria?
yeah,
Yeah, I know, but I might be able to get them into Greece because I'll be moving them first, won't I? Greece can't build anything anyway. So next player, Iraq. Wait, I already moved Bulgaria.
No,
They already moved.
not yet. Don't
Oh,
think
no,
so.
I mean in the turn order. Yes, Bulgaria's before Greece in the turn order.
Yes,
Oh,
they're dead.
I should have just moved the planes out then. It's
It's
too
going to
late
be
now.
German. Oh no, if you want to, retcon it. Go on. If you want to, up to you.
Because you're not taking it next turn because you don't have enough supply. Oh, you have with Italy, but then would Italy even win? I don't think they would. It'd be close.
I could throw a lot of planes into
that. What with Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of planes.
Yeah, but it forces you to make Bulgaria Italian, which is not ideal for you. So
it's not ideal. No, true.
No. Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, so they're going to be allied, yeah?
Yeah, they're allied. Until such time as I don't have the largest force threatening Bulgaria and you make them flip or you attack them. Right, Iraq.
Iraq. They have no IPCs, 1 oil, and 3 dudes. Oh, I'm tempted to attack Northwest Persia, actually.
Wow, this game is so unconventional already.
I just am. I'm just going to do that.
Okay, Persia goes allied. That's... And you have had Persia flip-flopping before where we were both in.
Oh, they flipped 2 or 3 times last game.
Yeah.
I'm just so...
I mean, yeah, to be honest, I was lining up to attack them, so...
You can't attack them now because they're allied. You can't attack Persia now. You've got to take them as an ally.
Persia has to be an exception, because that always gets attacked by everyone.
That's not fair.
I mean, like, seriously.
Okay, everybody change your turn marker.
I mean...
which ones are they? Iraq, there you go.
I have to think about that, whether that should block Persia. I have to think about that rule. This is a new rule for this game that we've introduced to solve the problem that we're both treacherous people. Is we've decided to ban betraying people in your alliance, and even to the extent of if a nation is pro your alliance, you aren't allowed to attack it. The theory being the people wouldn't be on your side.
Because we did.
As far as I'm concerned, Persia isn't allied. I'm simply controlling it because we don't have a third person, because I don't want them.
Oh.
In fact, all right, if that's going to be a thing, then I think we have to have an additional rule, which is that it's not automatically becomes controlled by the other side. There can be left as neutral, because I would rather do that than gain control of Persia. I want to own Persia. I don't want to buy oil from them. Like, this is like having oil is a real liability in World War II.
It is. It's your big target.
Like, as Germany, like, I've already decided next time I play Axis, I'm attacking Romania. Like, that was the point at which we said, no, we can't do this.
It's just wrong, isn't it? It's just wrong.
Yeah, it's just wrong.
Why is Bill's units over the Vichy still?
What? Sorry, say again?
Bill's units are still over the Vichy.
Because that was the last factory that was set.
Okay.
Yeah, right, so you've attacked Iraq. We need to next play that, don't we? I'll do it. Saudi Arabia.
That's you. That's you.
Yeah. They're really rich if ever they sell their oil.
Oh, I've got an oil tanker as well, haven't I? I forgot that. It's not going to last.
Oh, did you want to move it? You can.
It's just not going to last wherever it goes, to be honest.
I'm tempted to leave Saudi Arabia at peace so that I can just send the oil somewhere and sell it, and then if you attack
You've got a
it, you're-
tanker.
you'd still attack it though, wouldn't you? That's the thing.
I can't. I've got nothing to attack it with.
I mean, if I sail it through the med, you would. I just
Oh,
never
you would,
declare
yeah.
war.
If we set through the med, yeah, come on.
But they're not a war. But I've just declared war, so let's do it. I'm going to get that oil on that tanker and send it to. Who's going to buy
South
it?
Africa?
No,
Raj?
no.
Australia?
Yes.
Wow, okay. Australia.
Yeah.
Insane. It's insane. Australia doesn't need oil.
Yes, it does. It needs a navy. Peru. Okay. They haven't got enough to build a factory, so they're gonna sit there and go
Yeah.
twiddle thumbs. And that is the end of the first turn. So I'm gonna lock the board and do a save. Game 11, turn 1, even though it says turn 2 on the turn counter. I really messed that up. That's it. That's the first turn. So what happened? Germany went over the Maginot Line.
Mhm.
This is so
Successfully.
historically accurate. Successfully. I mean, with serious quantities of military hardware. Britain launched the Taranto raid and lost.
They did, yeah, badly, yeah. That's the whole
Bulgaria
fleet.
is allies 4 years before it happened.
We're not at war with Poland or Russia.
Yeah, there's no invasion of Poland.
Holland's still Holland.
Denmark, yeah, and Holland. Norway usually happens turn 2. Or actually, recently we've just been fighting them with Finland. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've changed that now. We've made Finland pro-Axis rather than starting as Axis because it was getting
Oh,
silly.
yes,
It just
of
turned
course, I
into a
didn't think
northern
that.
superpower.
I need to get. Oh shit! I should have got some guys over there.
There's time. There's time. I mean, I'm tempted to launch an invasion with Russia, but not yet. That is, I mean, that's it for this week.
That's
We're going to
interesting.
do turn 2 next Friday. We usually start between 8 and 8:15, sometime around then. So thank you for watching if you have done. Yeah, turn 1 of approximately 20. We'll see you in a week's time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.